Here's a good question. Looks at the distinction between a couple of different questions. They're really the same question, um, and you can solve them both the same. Well, you can solve them one way, but there's one way you can do a quick way. So I'll solve them both the same way. So if I know the slope and I know a point, if I know a slope and I know a point, I can plug those all into this equation. Okay, so the y value is a 4, the slope is 1/2, the x value is 0 plus b. So 0 times a half is 0, and b comes out to be 4. Therefore, the equation in my line is y equals 1/2 x plus 4. With this one, same thing, y equals mx plus b. My slope is -2, my x value is -3, my y value is 4, plus b. This would be a positive 6 equals 4. And then b is equal to 4 minus 6, which is a -2. Therefore, my equation is slope -2x, y-intercept minus b. So I did them both the same way. I plugged in the slope, I plugged in an x and a y value, and I solved for b. And once I had b, then I plugged it in to the equation in the b spot. Now this question here you can do a little simpler because they tell you what the slope is, but this point here, if x is 0, then this is the y-intercept. And you don't actually have to go through all this stuff to come up with the y-intercept because it's 0, 4. But notice that this one's not the y-intercept. That's a point somewhere else, -3 and 4. It's over here somewhere. It's not where it crosses the x-axis. So I can't just plug the 4 in at the end, and indeed the y-intercept is not 4. But if that first number is 0, that means that this is the y-intercept, and that's what b is, and I can just plug that directly in. I didn't need to go through this part. I could just say, well, the slope is 1/2, and the y-intercept from here is a positive 4. Done. But you can only do that, like I said, if that, I've made a mess there. You can only do that if that x coordinate is 0. That means the y coordinate is the y-intercept.